All right, ready? Everybody likes making money.
I was born ready.
Yeah, the wait till he started. Net runners.
There you go.
Net run
Yeah,
eyes.
That's fine.
I'll go with that.
Today what we're going to do is we're going to talk about the Plugged In tour and some of the stuff we saw. This is part 1 of a 2-part series. So this is Corporation. So Plugged In tour is pretty much wrapping up or wrapped up.
Yeah, I think they just
It's
did
done
that.
now.
Yesterday, 2 days ago, for the last one. So what we did is we ran across an article here from Dice -7's website. A lot of this was pulled together from the Fantasy Flight data that they splashed up after every event. And there is a shout out to a board game geek user, MPlain, MPLAIN, and he crunched some numbers as well. So they did the number crunching, and we're going to do the commentary.
Yeah.
Sounds good?
This is beautiful. It's very beautiful. Well done, guys.
Yeah,
or girls. We don't even know.
Check it out on the Dice -7 website. Google it. I don't know it off the top of my head.
What else do they do?
You could Bing it. You can even Bing that shit.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
No, don't Bing. We're YouTube, G+, we're Google.
Oh,
We're
okay.
a Google brand.
Okay.
No, edit that out. So the overall running Plugged In tour, one of our boys took home a bag.
Yeah, took second. Steve Kalmar, he's actually give a little hoot in the back there.
You want to throw his address in there, phone number, anything else while you're at it?
Yeah. For everybody who was wondering, he's not single. So, and it's because of this.
So Wayland, sticking to the Corp theme here, Wayland was the dominant Corp, took home the most first place finishes.
Up until the point of this article when it was written.
Right. NBN, making news, was a distant second. And then there was a couple HBs and the other making news, or the other NBN, took home 1. No red in the corporation side.
No red.
I gave it a good effort, though.
Yeah, you did. You did.
I made it the top 4. Yeah, I was top 4 in the 5th round of both of them, and then I just got wiped out. So
then he got shoveled down below me. So it's fun.
No, I came in 9th at
the first one.
Yeah, the first one, and I don't even know what the second one.
You would have been just under me unless you tied with.
I was ready to table flip when Steve won that anyway, because I played my soul out at that game.
Yeah.
So any
as he shows his purse off.
Any surprises seeing Wayland as the most dominant corporation right now?
Well, we play with a fella named Kywin, and shout out to Kywin, but if they're playing the deck as good as he was, then I have no doubt, because that was brutal. That's a good deck. I can't remember.
It's a good player. The deck's pretty standard. The player was good.
Yeah. We actually have a video of Kywin talking about the deck that he plays, which is probably similar to a lot of these decks, on our Facebook channel.
Yeah, he came out to get some practice in before the 2 events, and
yeah, you wanted to wade through all the noobs.
Yeah,
he was waist deep in us. That's for sure.
He came out to the Bad Publicity tournament, and rocked second there, and then tweaked and tuned up and was ready for Plugged In.
Yeah, won the Snakes and Lattes and placed at Harry Tarantula.
Did he?
Any surprises seeing NBN grabbing 4 top spots? Out of those 4, only 2 of them were using Scorched. So seeing NBN winning with no Scorched, surprises?
Like I've been talking with Malice or Dustin Cal, I think that NBN is probably my favorite archetype right now. Is like the Never Advance NBN with Snares and Edge of the Worlds. I think that deck just has so much potential to do what it needs to do. So I can completely see that happening with NBN. I'm actually surprised that NBN came in lower than Wayland.
Yeah, Whalen dominated with 10 wins overall again at the time of this article, and NBN a distant second at 4 wins.
Well, Wayland had 10 first place finishes, right? Yeah. One of those was because we built it. Surprised to see that one so low. I know you and me thought that one would be a stronger faction to use. No,
not necessarily stronger, but still good.
I don't think he meant like stronger than because we built it.
I mean, like
a stronger faction.
Anyone who watched our corporation rankings,
now they know that you guys are idiots.
based on those results, yes.
Except I put 2 Gen Techies in my list. I'm gonna go. So,
so what about the Scorches in the NBN for you? Anything?
Any surprises? I think it's really interesting. I figured that the way that I've been playing NBN and most do is that you half and half split it. So you have some Scorched Earth in there for that win condition if playing that style becomes necessary. If, say, they're grabbing everything out from under you, and then have fast advance because NBN has that ability to do so with the breaking news and the auto scripts. So you can really rip through a fast advance if you want to. So you kind of have both sides of both sides of the coin to play with there. And then seeing ones that just no scorched at all is pretty interesting because that means they must have had a pretty neat trick up their sleeve then.
Yeah, usually
it's the never advance. They're running snares and Edge of the Worlds. Mm-hmm. That's what it is.
But sometimes I see in fast advance people like to tuck one scorched in there just in case it comes up to spook people off to expect that burn style. You know, so you're not just camping on tags. I'm like, oh, he doesn't have Scorched Earth in there. Come on through.
I think everybody wants to have a little bit of tag punishment in their deck, and I mean, if you're only going to have one, to have that 4 influence is not really that huge. Like, that's not something that's going to set you back a lot, and especially in an NBN deck where it's not an auto splash for Jackson Howard, right? So you're not losing the 3 influence already. Like for anything out of NBN, you basically cut 3 off your influence because Jackson Howard just needs to make his way in your deck.
So something neat that I saw as well in the actual breakdown of one of the winning decks was that they had crap. Where was I going with that? I just had a total brain fart.
All right, we'll come back.
Oh no, I got it. So it was they had 1 Scorch splashed in, but then one of their economy cards was Celebrity Gift. So that's kind of makes sense if you're playing NBN and you do have ways of dishing out tags like your Data Ravens, that sort of thing, and then you can Celebrity Gift, show them the Scorch, and then they think that that's what's going to happen to slow them down. So slow the runner down. And play,
that's pretty tricky. I like stuff like that.
Yeah. 7 of the top 10 Wayland decks use Snare as their splash.
Just makes sense because I mean, Snare works on so many levels. It works on the Never Advance level, which is actually kind of a perfect play for Wayland because what they want to do, and I don't play Wayland, but I see a lot of people playing it. They want to have that really efficient ice. They don't have to have a lot of it, but they like chimeras, like the ice walls. Anything they could put that ice out that you can't get past really quick, and they just want to bang out agendas. Like, that's what they want to do. And then they want to do that until they feel like that server isn't going to work a little bit more, and then they put another thing that is just super efficient, and they want to run it off that way. But a nice fallback plan is to just put an agenda down, hide it, next turn score it, right? That's the Never Advance style. So if you could put a snare out and then get them to run it, that's perfect. And it adds protection in your hand, protection in your R&D, which we know how prevalent R&D lock is. It's basically the new deck.
I think Snare's a great card, but when you crunch the numbers like that, I was really shocked to see it out there as much as it was.
No, I don't know. I think it's a staple in a lot of decks. And now that Jackson Howard, it gives a tag. Jackson Howard's there. Like, people, I know as a Genteki player, I love throwing in snares when people make those final friggin', I have 3 R&D interfaces out and I'm going to make that last run. Or when people index you and then they know that the next card's an agenda, they make that run, they spend all their money to make that run, and you're like, well, Jackson Howard, 3 snares back in my deck. I pulled off 1 win that way at the Plugged-In tournament, and
half of these Wayland decks included Jackson Howard. that I was not surprised at. To me, he's auto-including now in corporations.
I think just
a lot of them. You don't necessarily need them in every type of deck kind of thing. If you don't need to cycle cards, but most decks like to cycle.
There's just there's really no downside. I mean, he splashes for one, and his ability is always going to be useful.
Mm-hmm.
Even if you're using it for like the most basic form of like, and I think it's a combo where, you know, you just have too many agendas in your hand, you draw 2 extra cards, and you pitch 2 agendas. So you kind of keep them safe, and then they make that run, and you put them back in your deck. You know what I mean?
Lately, for me, it's been an indexing protection. This guy here.
Indexing is
the indexing run, and I'm like, here's the 5, and then they run at you, and then you're like, and sack them, and then shake those cards up again, right?
Because indexing, they need to run through your server twice, and then you can make it so. Shuffle.
Yeah, you gotta kill the Jackson first. So the top splash that we saw throughout this plugged-in event for corporations, number 1 overall was green level. Not surprised because of the amount of Wayland and how pretty much good it is in Wayland.
I was surprised because I was kind of surprised that Wayland took the top spot, but knowing that Wayland took it, like it makes complete and utter sense.
There it is.
Because in my mind I'm like Jackson Howard is the go-to.
Next up was the Jackson
Howard.
Jackson.
J-How.
Jackson Jesus.
There's so many names for him. You read the forums? Yeah, people will just do whatever the hell they want with his name now.
Call him DJ J-How?
Yeah.
So they should do
I was not surprised to see him splashed everywhere, but I was surprised to see him take second place over or under green level.
Yeah.
To me, he should be auto-include in any corporation, no matter what faction, no matter what identity you're running. There is no reason not to have him in there. That's how good of protection he provides.
If you don't need him, then that's the thing, right? You gotta weigh whether you need him or not to make the deck work. But
I see where I'm a firm believer that 75% of all deck builds can
probably 80 or 90%.
Yeah, they can only benefit from it. So having him, it's just a matter of how much influence you have. If you really want to go a certain route, then.
Yeah. Next up was Snare. Not really surprising to see it in the middle of the pack, but I mean, surprised to see it in the abundance that it was.
I think Snare's I mean, it's probably the first card that I read that I was like, this is it. This is the faction that I want to play. So.
Yeah. First day of the tournament, I used, that's all I splashed was just 3 Snare in an HP deck.
Mm.
C-Source was the next one.
Well, I mean, Wayland Building a Better World as the first, you can only expect C-Source to be on that list somewhere. Yeah. You got to get those random tagging bags off.
Especially since what I've noticed, at least, is that the movement has gone straight from tag avoidance just to meat damage avoidance. That's it. So, like, basically nobody was playing any tag protection, right? Which was, I guess, that's pretty okay.
Because in our meta, decoys was huge.
Big. I was running them for the longest time.
Yeah. 3 decoys. Nobody
Angelus,
was using.
People were using New Angelus for quite a while.
Yeah.
It sprouted, but then I think died hard.
Everybody just realized that they can go right. Like, why care about all that when I could take the tags and just, you know,
carry on.
What I thought was interesting about the C-Source stuff was that most people in Wayland are running one or the other. Like, usually you'd see, like, or you used to see, like, a couple mid-season, a couple C-Source, just in case. Mm-hmm. But it's kind of gone from, like, 2 modes of tagging to only 1, and C-Source becoming the dominant.
Because C-Source is an aggressive tag, and I think that's what Wayland wants. They want to.
But it's also
they want to go. Okay, well, I really got
nothing.
I got nothing really to do, so now I'm just going to build up my money, and I'm going to C-Source and kill you. You know what I mean? Like I got the two scorched in my hand, and I got the C-Source. So now all I need is a piss ton of money. And with like fracting out and the 20 billion cards that they have to make an obscene amount of money.
Next down was Ice Wall. I was expecting to see this a lot higher because it's a cheap ice that the strength can be advanced. I thought this is.
Now, are these numbers that we have here? Are they overall, or are we just talking about like the?
I think it's overall. I think Buddy had him splashed overall based on.
No, well, only the.
Or was it just winners?
Just taking the winning deck.
I would assume it's just the
because you don't really see
the winning decks here, because only the deck lists that were printed were from winners.
Fantasy Flight has all the deck lists.
That's right. Yeah, see, there's some 10 decks.
But Ice Wall I thought would be a great way to stop admins sometimes.
Didn't see a lot of those.
No.
But again, because like assuming that Wayland didn't take the top spot, it sounds like a lot of people were playing Wayland. And I mean, if a lot of people are playing Wayland, then they're not splashing for Ice Wall. You know what I mean? So it's to have Wayland at the top spot and Ice Wall still on that list. Like there are no other Wayland cards in there.
I think NBN there was a higher amount percentage of people that played NBN,
but either way, there's only I don't know.
Next, you saw Toll Booth, a great ice that's
just the splash value is.
It's kind of a staple. Everybody's like, I need a good code gate. Well, there's your code gate. Yeah.
It's
throw 2 in.
Yeah, you can never go wrong with a front-loaded ice ability at all.
Well, unless they have Femme Fatale.
Which is why I don't play.
And then you've gone terribly wrong.
Yeah, because I see that card and I just laugh and I'm like, okay, well, whatever.
Which card?
Toll Booth. Femme Fatale just like Femme Fatale is my favorite icebreaker, so I can't justify putting a Toll Booth in my deck because I'm like, well, my deck would beat that, so I'm not going to do it. You know what I mean?
You meta yourself out.
Yeah.
Bobby Fischer.
Well, I'm the best player, so I'm the only one that I need to worry about, right?
And then,
ego!
Let me tell you guys.
And he pulls his purse up again!
Did you guys know that the only difference between God and Sly Squid is that God does not believe he's Sly Squid? Just throw that out there.
And Corporate Troubleshooter was next.
Which is just a fantastic card.
Yeah, but then again, you know, to see it, like we didn't see it for a long time, and now it's
kind of back,
poked its head again.
Yeah.
But again, in a Wayland deck, it's a perfect splash.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Well, because you can get your archers off pretty heavily, right?
It's nuts.
It's ugly, is what it is.
Do you think people were protecting? Like, I know we only speak for the 2 events that we went, but
the only 2 in Canada.
Yeah.
Thanks, guys. Thanks, Fantasy Flight, for that. By the way, that was actually pretty sweet.
I went in thinking there was going to be a lot of Atman Data Sucker combos, and
there weren't.
I didn't see.
I didn't play a single one.
Oh my god, that's like all I played.
Oh, I didn't see a single one.
No,
man.
No, everyone I talked to, like only 1, maybe 2.
I played a lot.
So I don't know if a lot of stuff was built ready for that and it wasn't touched. Like to me, I think Corporate Troubleshooter, Ice Wall, you know, those
Shadows,
Toll Booth, like the stuff that I was seeing in there were Atman protection decks, and I didn't see him at all. So maybe that will twist at Worlds, but unknown.
Well, all I know is Swordman will be out for Worlds, so
no.
Good luck. Yeah, it's coming out literally that week.
Yeah, but it's already been stated that
they're not using it.
No, every opening moves only nothing. Nothing.
Well, that's
passed.
good, I guess.
They don't want to bring twists in that soon.
Oh, kind of like when they did the one at Gen Con, and they're like, "Here, everybody, take Creation and Control, and good luck." We're not going to give you a data pack. We're going to give you a super data pack.
So any other closing thoughts on the corporations that you guys saw going through there?
I think Gen Techie got robbed. That's my first thing.
Robbed?
Yeah.
I didn't really see a lot of Gen Techies predominantly there.
I played 2.
Yeah, there was 2. There was me and another guy at Harry Tarantula, and there were actually a fair amount of players at Snakes and Lattes. There were a fair amount.
Perfect, guys. Well, you know, that about wraps up the corporation side. Let us know what your thoughts are below on your plugged-in adventures and excitements. And
do we want to do a quick ad
thumbs up
at the end of all these? Let's do that.
May as well.
We'll do a couple. So, the guys at Harry Tarantula actually gave us this mat that they want us to give away. It's made by a local artist in Toronto, and it's for their store. So, what we want you guys to do... Sorry, we're going to block Jamie as much as possible.
It's well in frame. There's table in frame.
We want you to go to harrytarantula.com or harryt.com and just find a comment and then just write something to do with Netrunner. And we're going to get a hold of our guys down there, and we're gonna pick a winner within the month probably, and then we'll ship it in a year like we did the last time. We're kidding. We're gonna try to get it out a lot sooner.
Ship it quicker.
Yeah, that's the one. It's pretty cool. I mean, they're mainly a Magic kind of themed.
But there was a pretty big turnout at that place for the Netrunner, and they want to. They expressed a desire to start a community down there. And quite a few people made it out.
They've had the what was it for their Magic pre-qualifiers? They had. It was the second biggest in Canada, I think they've ran. So these guys know what they're doing, and the tournament was
That's HarryT.com. Right?
HarryT.com, yeah, it was ran flawlessly. So yeah, we want to give a shout out to those guys.
Yep.
Perfect. So recap: they go to the HarryT.com and put a comment there.
Yeah, we'll put a link in the description.
All right. Yeah. Perfect.
Peace out.